Hey, so everybody, we have two really, really splendid guests, and they've done a bang up job all over the country. They hail from South Texas, and you've heard them both before in the past, but they've got things to say that will allow you to make presentations to people that you thought maybe you didn't feel up to doing it or whatever was stopping you because, we're on a mission. It's called the Health Crusade. We need you to help every single person who you come across who's not well. And look, there's 95% of everybody in the country is not well, so there's no shortage. So let me invite them to they'll ramble on about how they've done things, and you're going to pick up a lot of good tips. So here we are, ladies before gentlemen, Esther Franco and Cecil Cotton. Take it away.
Okay. I'm going to tell you a story about my mom.
Okay.
Okay. My mom was a diabetic, and her legs got real swelled up. She could not walk. She had to have them elevated. And she had been going to the doctor, and he had given her something, but it wasn't working. And the doctor that was seeing her was my nephew. Okay, let me tell you. She got on the tonic, and 3 days later, it went away. And she went to my nephew and took the bottle of tonic and said, look, this is what helped me. This thing that Esther gave me, the tonic. So that's one right there. Go ahead, people.
Well, Anthony kind of wanted me to talk about how I approach people. And I'm kind of like, they call me Rudy. If you ever saw the Rudy movie, movie Rudy, he never gave up. He made the team at Notre Dame. They said he never would. They call me Johnny Appleseed. I throw some seeds. I'm going to get one or two. And they call me Dr. Cecilio Agadon, which is my name in Spanish. I like that better because they think I'm from Brazil, some kind of doctor. But anyway, one of my friends, I got on this stuff 19 years ago, and Esther tried to get me on it. She told me everything it would do, and I literally threw her out of my restaurant. I said, there's no way that's going to do what you just told me. Because I have problems. I was sick for 10 years. I had 2 back surgeries, hip replacement. I had arthritis bad in my back, couldn't sleep, got depression over 10 years. I couldn't function. And she tried to give it to me, and I ran her off. And then I saw a lady, and I complimented her on how her body looked now. She was only 69 years old, and she started dancing in front of me, saying, oh, I feel good. And I thought, well, whatever you're on, give me some of that. Well, if I would have put a fruit basket on top of her head, it'd been the Chiquita banana. She was dancing, and she told me, well, I'm drinking the juice Esther wanted you to get on, which that's Esther's sister. So I was really not thinking this is going to work. And then they have another friend, Joyce Buckcoat. She's 70 years old, and she told me everything it did to her. So I got on it in 2 weeks. I was the new guy on the block. Since I helped myself, I got my best friend on it, and then we started finding people. Hey, what's wrong with you? One guy had diabetes. His number was 638. Within 3 weeks, we took him down to 155. His name was Bobby from Corpus. So that's how we got started. And, 6 months later, Anthony called me, and he said, hey, man, this is Juice Man. I didn't know who he was. Juice Man? What's a Juice Man? I'm the Tonic Man. I said, well, I still don't know what you're doing. I'm the guy who's drinking the juice. Well, I was like, wow, how'd you find me? He said, well, through Esther. She gave me a number. I said, wow. Well, I met him not long later, and he was 69 years old. Anthony looked like he was 52, 54. Now he's almost 84. And wow, when we saw him, I knew it worked, but once I saw Anthony, he had a head of hair like an 18-year-old kid. His complexion is perfect. He's never sick. And I told him, man, you saved my life. I said, for saving my life, I'm going after everybody I can. I will bulldog this stuff because you saved my life. I said, I don't know how long I'll do it for you, but when I'm tired of doing it, I'm going to quit you. Well, it's been 19 years later, and I'm worse. So I told Anthony on the call last time, there's a lady walking on the street, and she's on a cane. She's 93 years old. I met her just Sunday, and I approached her with my dog, and I said, hey, how old are you? She said, 93. She's on a cane, and I said, wow. We just started talking about the dogs. I said, what if I tell you I got something to get you off that cane? She said, well, I'm interested. So she gave me some advice what she's doing. I gave her my advice. I just got my bottles in today, and I'm going to take her bottle tomorrow. I guarantee in 1 month she'll be off that cane. Now, with my friends, I'm just telling you people, approach them. Show them pictures. I got pictures of Esther got this guy. He's a Navy vet for 26 years. He's been sick for 9 years. He's in a wheelchair for 3 years. I hadn't talked in 2 years. Within 14 days, and they said he only had 6 months to live. And he's 54 years old. He was at a veterans old folks home. Within 14 days, he's out of the bed. Wow. Carrie, his wife, has taken pictures, documented everything he's done. Every time he's in the house, all the medicine he's taken, how sick he got over the last 2 years at the old folks home. Hell, I've got that on my phone. I show that, and it oxidizes and purifies your blood. I show that, and I badger these people. My friends, I don't stop. I tell them every story I know and every one that I've changed. That's why they call me Rudy sometimes. I've even told Anthony 11 years ago, I'm going to get the Dallas Cowboys. And I got a good friend of mine that's best friends with Jerry Jones. He does all the advertising in the stadium. He's from Corpus, too. And I thought he could get me in the door. He couldn't do it. So, Anthony's been telling me through the years, how about them Cowboys? I said, well, I had my meeting with Stephen Jones 2.5 weeks ago. And he is highly interested, but he's got football season. But what I told the wife, oh, my goodness, they can't believe it. I showed them. I said, no doctor can ever show you blood that's red in a bag. And I can show you what I've done to these people, and I show her. Now, the wives want me to get some girls that I have on the juice, and she wants to meet with them, or I get them on video. And I've already talked to 7 or 8, and they're standing in line. So I'm going to get that done. But whatever you do, just stay after your friends. Don't let down. Keep badgering them. I told him you'll live another 15 to 18 years, onto your life. I told Anthony, if you floss your teeth every day, you'll live an average of 8 more years. Well, it's false. You only live 6.4 years. If you oxidize and purify your blood, I tell doctors how much longer you're going to live. And he said, well, hell, I don't know. Nobody got oxidized, purified blood until they see mine. Just stay after them. And I thank Esther, too, for getting me on this. They wouldn't have got me on this. I guarantee you, I'm 62 now. I wouldn't be here today. Okay, Esther, you get them.
Okay. I've sold at doctor's offices before. I've sold 12 cases in one day. So I talk to a lot of people, too. And some people just don't listen, but I know that it works. My nephew, my niece's husband, when I met him a year ago in November, he was in bad shape. He could not even talk or drive. He was in a wheelchair. At 52 years old, taking 23 medications. And he has talking to Anthony prior to this. And I got that guy walking again. He's taking computers. He's driving all over the place. And to me, I saw him a week ago. To me, he looks younger. And he does 4 ounces a day. The doctors were shocked at the hospital at the VA when they saw him because he was in a wheelchair to begin with. He could not even talk. My niece was his voice, and his head was bubbling. And my son is a medic at the VA, and he would see the way he was, and he was surprised to see Bob in the condition that he is now.
Well, I got this last Saturday, my wife owns Ivy Jane, which she makes women's clothes, and we have warehouse sales. Well, I forgot to tell Anthony this one, and she is 61, and she texted me 3 weeks ago and said she has COVID. Well, she tried the juice, but she didn't like the taste. And I always told her, well, mix it with anything you want. Well, she came to the warehouse sale Saturday, and I said, well, you're looking good, She said, well, my husband's been drinking this now for 1.5 years. I said, wow, I know that. And I said, did he get COVID? And she said, well, yes, he did. I said, wow, he's the first patient I got that I know that's drinking and they got COVID. He said, well, let me tell you the story about it. He was going hunting in Mexico because duck season's on, and he had to go get a COVID test. Well, he tested, and they said he had COVID. Well, he came home and said, can you believe this? I don't have a headache. I don't have a sore throat. I have my taste. I don't feel bad. I feel 100%. I don't think the test is wrong. Well, he phoned his doctor and said, where can I go to make sure I get the right test? And he said, well, it's a block away. I know them. They're good. Come on. Well, he tested again, and he had it. She told me that she had a headache for 2 weeks, and she said it felt like I had a tumor in my brain. She said, I don't know how I made it. My husband didn't have one issue. So now she's drinking the juice. So I'm just telling you, he didn't have one symptom. And, I probably could have had the COVID. I don't know, but I never had a symptom if I did. So I'm going to tell you people, you not think about this. Get on I don't care if you take vitamins, you take whatever you want with the juice. I told Anthony, whatever you take to help you and take the juice, it'd be like a Molotov cocktail. It'd make it even better. You will be healthier. Oh, my goodness. You ought to see me. I've had 2 back surgery, hip, and I have arthritis. Now I work the young guys at work, and I'm 62. Go ahead, Esther.
I know that it works on animals for sure. I've seen many of them.
Oh, yeah.
I remember my mom one time, she had this dog. It was a lab, and she had it tied up, and she had a rental home next to her house. And the little kids were messing around with the beehives, and they stirred them up, and the dog got bitten by bees. And so my niece worked for the dog pound, Ruth, and she went and got the dog because she told my mom, the dog died. It's gone. I'm going to take it. And she says, no. My mother went inside the house and grabbed that bottle of tonic, poured it on the dog, and the dog survived. Honest to God.
Yeah.
Yes, the dog survived. And I've seen also, when my mom passed away, she had a dog, and he ran out in the street and got banged by a car, got hit by a car. And they brought him inside the yard, and they put some tonic on his leg, and he was good.
Look, Cecil, you have a dog story, too, about the same thing. It was hit by a car, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had 2 boxers, and Daphne was about 3, and Dixie was 4. Well, they broke out of the gate at night, ran across the street. Dixie got across the street. The guy hit the brakes, and Daphne legs went under the front wheel, and it broke the front leg, and then it broke the second leg. But when he stopped on the dog's leg. So the time they got him out, we were out of town, and the policeman called me because the neighbors had my phone and said, hey, your dog got run over, and he broke both legs. And I said, well, do you need to put the dog down? He said, well, no, I think dog's going to make it, but you got to go to the 24-hour vet. Well, the police took it for me because we have a restaurant. We feed all the policemen. And he said, I know who you are. You always say, we got the dog. Well, long story short, I got home on Sunday. On Monday, I called the vet where it was, and he said, look, all the skin's off the legs. I said, we got to leave him 2 more days. We don't want him to get an infection. I said, okay. You come pick him up Wednesday, and I'll send the x-rays to Pancho, which is my vet, with Tejas Veterinarian. So when I went to get the dog Wednesday, take it to him, he was already ready for him in my bed. He said, look, left leg's broke. He said, we'll put him in a cast after we heal his skin take a total of 8 weeks. He'll limp a little, but he'll be all right. Right leg, he said, I don't know what we're going to do. I called Dr. Williams. He's a premier bone graft expert in San Antonio. He said 50-50 chance the dog will walk even with surgery. And Pancho told me it was figured 30-70. I don't see this dog walking again. Well, since I know it works on animals, I've been after Pancho to find me a limping dog. Because I heard on the call show the week before I got on the first time, guy had a dog, old dog, limping, gave it, and he's fine. The dog was 14. So my dogs are healthy, and I kept telling Pancho, you got this dog? I'll give him a bottle. I want to see if it works on dogs. Well, here I am with a dog that will never walk again on the right leg and limp on the left leg. And I told Pancho, how much does this surgery cost? He said, well, it's it's a long time ago. It's $1,800. And I said, Pancho, you remember that juice I telling you about? I said, look, I ain't looking for a miracle, but I want to see if it helps the dog. It ain't going to hurt. I got 8 weeks. And he said, he gave me a hug from the side. He said, Cecil, we'll call this dog the miracle dog. This dog ain't going to walk again. And I said, well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, will it help him? I don't know. You won't give me a dog? Well, I started the dog off on a 1/4 ounce for a week. Then I went to a 1/2 ounce a week, and my wife at the time told me, you're going to kill the dog. And I said, nah, it ain't going to kill the dog. It didn't kill me, I said, let's just try it. Well, he started learning to get up on it. There, he's in 2 casts, mind you, and he learned to get on the left leg. And then 3rd week I went to 3/4 an ounce. 4th week I went to an ounce, and he started putting pressure on the bad leg and starting to walk. So my ex-wife said, "Hey, give him more." She's a believer enough. So we got him up to 2 ounces a day. In 8 weeks, I took him to the vet, and I said, "Pancho, look at the miracle dog." His eyes were like he could not believe what he saw. We took the cast off the dog, and he lost mobility, but he still could put pressure. I told Pancho, "Let's call Dr. Williams in San Antonio." He said, "Hell yeah." I said, no, Pancho, you're missing the point. The point is I'm going to bet you $500 he's going to walk without the surgery. That's what I want you to tell Dr. Williams. You want to bet? He wouldn't bet. He wouldn't call Dr. Williams. Went back in 6 weeks. He's walking pretty good on that leg, and the other leg, he's not even limping. Then I tell Pancho, I said, "Look, dude, I'll make it easy for you and Dr. Williams. I will bet you $100 when I got to come back." He said, "Well, 6 more weeks. I bet he's running. You want to bet?" He wouldn't bet. Believe me, I got the x-rays on the dog. I got everything. He ran and walked everywhere. It's unbelievable.
So you told that story to me a few times, and every time you tell it, it just, I get something else out of it. And I hope everybody listening also gets the same thing out of it. Folks, if you have pets, don't give up. Just like we're trying to tell you with your friends and family and neighbors, don't give up. But the pets, do as Cecil said, a little bit at a time. They'll just get better and better and better. Watch and see how many lives you can save. How many animal lives and how many human lives.
Human lives, yep.
Esther's done it. Cecil's done it. I put an ounce of tonic in the water bowl, and the dogs drink out of it, and they get their measure. You don't have to use a lot. If you put an ounce in a 1 gallon water bowl, every time you fill it up, they'll get plenty. No matter how many dogs you have. So it's easy to do, and you can see the difference, and you'll see the difference in their coat, in their energy, in the brightness in their eyes, and the overall health. And then maybe that'll convince you to talk to your neighbor. Esther kept talking to Cecil, even if he didn't want to listen. And look now, here they are, the two of them on this call, 20 years later, still drinking and appreciating each other that they continued. Esther continues to do the same thing with anybody and everybody sees, and so does Cecil. And please, we want you to do the same.
Hey, Anthony, let me tell them where I do my best business. And I hate to do it there, but when I go to funerals, and I told Anthony I went to a funeral 4 weeks ago, and he was 8. The buddy of mine was 89 years old, or 88. Anyway, everybody knows me down there because we've been in business so long, and they know I'm on the juice. So, at a funeral, that's where I do my best business. I start telling them right there in the pews before they start. I said, look at this, look at this. I said, hey, man, you're going to be up there one day. I'll make you live longer. By the last funeral, I got 3 people on it from the funeral. I know that's bad, but hey, I'll do it anywhere. I'm not scared to tell anybody anything. Some of them won't even take my call. That's fine. I'll catch them in person. When I see them, I'm going to get them. And you'd be surprised how many people change their mind and say, man, everything you got there makes sense. And I say, yeah, you just need common sense. That's all you need.
All people that talked to that took so long, and sometimes it was years, I've spoken to many of them after they started drinking it. They just can't thank you enough. Their whole life has changed.
Unbelievable. That product is, my pharmacist looked at this stuff after I drank it 6 months. I told my best friend Jim, because he has a deal under his spinal cord. I was the guinea pig, and I went first. 2 weeks, he got on it. And then after 6 months, we're telling people, and I said, man, I need to get this checked out. I said, how we going to do it? I said, hell, Jim, I go to Glenn. He owns the Robstown City Drug. He knows I was real sick for 10 years, and he'd give me a couple pills every once in a while, help me sleep because I couldn't sleep and I had depression. And I called Glenn and I said, man, Glenn, I forgot to call you, man. 2 weeks of drinking this product and I'm all good. I said, I think you need to look at it to tell me, make sure there's nothing illegal, nothing gives people cancer, high blood pressure, heart. I said, I don't know what's in this thing. You got to tell me. So he said, come on over at 5:30. And I look at it. He started reading the bottle. He said, oh, my goodness. Hang on. He called his assistant, Roy. He said, man, you got to check this out. Well, he read everything. He said, dude, there's nothing in it to give you a heart attack, not a stroke. This is all herbs. They're all natural. We put each one of these into medicine. This one's for your high blood pressure. This is for cholesterol. This is for diabetes. This is to oxidize and purify your blood. This is for your estrogen and your testosterone. He said, man, you get this up, you'll stay younger longer. This is for your emotion. This is for your skin. This is for diabetes. He said, man, dude, you know the guy that put this together? And I said, yeah, it's Paul Urick. And he said, what did he experiment on? I said, well, he experimented on pigs. And he said, well, yeah, pigs have closest inside. That makes sense. And he said, you know, I'm a smart guy. You just can't throw it together. You got to experiment, which that's what he did. He said, he didn't do this overnight. And I said, no, he did. He said, you know how long it took him? I said, yes, sir, I do. But I'm going to let you guess. He said, shoot, 17 years. I said, 17 years, try 21. He said, God bless that man. He said, God was looking over his shoulder. I've never seen a product like this. I go to Mexico to see my blood doctor 11 years after I take. That's where I see my rich red blood. That doctor in Mexico, all she does is blood work. She helps you with arthritis and a few other things. I went to go see her. When she saw my blood, she said, oh, my God, you have baby's blood. Nobody has that kind of blood. And I've taken my picture and I go to blood banks and I ask them, why everybody got that ugly blood? They got cancer? And they go, no, that's what blood looks like. And I said, wait till I get up there. I'm going to shock you. He said, yeah, sit down, idiot. When I get through, they're asking how I did that. And she's asking, believe me, I've tested this everywhere I can. I tried to discredit it just for my humor, and it works on everything. Oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, go ahead.
Back when Cecil had the restaurant in 2005, I sold 30 cases in 1 week. And let me tell you what it was. I was grieving. I didn't even see the people. They would come to the door. That's when I lost my son. A lot of men would come over because it was good for sex. I had a lot of men and guys come over, young guys too. Because you told them that it was good for sex, and I had a lot of clientele.
Yeah, and it works.
And now, Esther, how old are you?
Good, brother.
I'm going to be 70 in October, and there's nothing wrong with me. I go see the doctor once a year for a physical, and that's it.
Well, you send us a couple of pictures. I'm going to have them sent out with this call when we send the email newsletter out in a couple of days. Send me a couple of photos of you. No one's going to believe. Folks, when you see this lady, you're not going to believe it. She looks 30 years younger. Guess why? That's it. It's called JC Tonic. Hey, you two, I love you both, and thanks a lot. We can go on for hours, but thank you for coming to the call. I hope everybody gets out of this what they should be getting out, and I appreciate both of you. Thanks a lot.
Well, appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Okay, man, thanks. Bye, okay. And bye, Esther.
Bye. Good night.
Okay, so go out and save a life, and don't forget, take an ounce and feel the bounce. All righty, bye now.
Uric Classic Whole Body Tonic is a dietary supplement, not a drug. Therefore, it is useful to affect the structure and or function of your body in various ways, but it is not intended to and will not cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent any disease. Individual testimonials may not be everyone's experience and do not constitute scientific evidence. Uric Corporation does not make any drug or treatment claims for its product.